Entrepreneurship is not the same as VC. Most entrepreneurs never speak with venture capitalists. Entrepreneurship. As always, define what you're talking about before you ask questions about it. The vast majority of entrepreneurs, 99% plus, never receive venture capital investment, for one or more of the following reasons. Their business is not scalable in the ways that venture capitalists seek. Their business failed or was sold before venture capitalists had a chance to invest. Their business was successfully bootstrapped without the need of venture capitalists' money. Venture capital. Given that the vast majority of entrepreneurs never receive venture capital, the problem is not, as you ask in your question details, that there are too many entrepreneurs, but rather that there may be too few good entrepreneurs for whom venture capital is an appropriate investment. The world is awash in capital and investors are starved for yield. This means that 1. Existing venture capitalists are able to raise new funds and 2. New venture capitalists are able to enter the field. It is still a lot of work for new venture capitalists to set up their organization, source investors, and then source investments. To say nothing of waiting for 5 to 7 years or more for liquidity events, IPOs, acquisitions, etc. to happen. If Jay-Z is launching a venture capital fund, he is probably doing so because his name is well known and opens doors. He is a very wealthy man, and wealthy people know other wealthy people. He believes that he has some unique insight or investment thesis that you don't. Given Jay-Z's previous business successes, I would not bet against him. However, that is much different than saying his success is assured. Regarding entrepreneurship, although it might sometimes feel like entrepreneurship has become cool, in a way, I think this phenomenon has more positive consequences than negative ones. More small businesses means there are more people working on something they can relate to, as opposed to something abstracted simply by the sheer size of an organization, in an environment where the chances of being appreciated are much higher. And yes, no matter how astonishing the website of your startup is, if it's not, message me. I'm running one of those small businesses. If you still know everyone on a first-name basis in your company, that's probably what we call a small business. Also, the market will take care of the myriads of wannabes. This is not even worth talking about. Most people underestimate the reality of running a business and fail before the ink would dry on their CEO business cards. Regarding Jay-Z, he is successful in a specific industry. He is quite wealthy and one can safely assume he has excellent high-profile connections in his industry. VC funding is more than just the money, and if I was about to launch in the music, fashion industry, I'd seriously consider taking the investment from someone like HOV instead of almost any investment firm down Sand Hill Road. You might not know it, but the United States is currently experiencing an entrepreneurship crisis. More companies die every week in the USA than are started, says Christopher Lochhead, host of Legends and Losers and co-author of Play Bigger: How Pirates, Dreamers, and Innovators Create and Dominate Markets. Is it because not enough people are getting into the game, or are too many of the people who start businesses unprepared for how much work it actually takes to make them succeed? There doesn't seem to be one easy answer, but Christopher points out that college students are graduating with more debt than ever before, and often default to whatever jobs they can get to pay off their loans rather than focusing on creating new businesses. But he also points out that the cost of starting a new business is cheaper than ever before thanks to technology helping scale overhead to supply only what's required. Just 10 years ago, a business might have paid thousands of dollars per month just to have a website that wouldn't crash if more than 5 people tried to look at it at the same time. Now, the same service probably costs closer to $15 a month.